Okay, so my talk at the table is ventriloquist and comedian Jeff Dunham. His 11th, yeah, that's right, 11th comedy special, Jeff Dunham, Me the People, premieres Friday on Comedy Central, which is part of Paramount Global, like CBS News. In the one-hour special, Dunham is joined by his iconic characters like Walter, Bubba J, Peanut, and his newest dummy, Earl. In this clip, one of his most popular characters, Bubba J, shares new lessons he's learned. Take a look.
I think that installing a smoke detector in my chimney was a bad idea. Sometimes I get so drunk that I can't remember how to set my alarm clock, so I just turn on my microwave for 8 hours. From now on, no more prostate exams unless it's by someone who actually works in the medical field.
First on CBS Mornings, Jeff Dunham joins us right now. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Thanks for having us.
Of
I am
course.
Peanut. It's good to see you guys. I must say, I heard the Michelle Aldana thing about looking in the mirror and saying, "Hey, buddy," in the morning.
Yeah.
Jeff does it every day.
Every day. What's
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Yeah.
All right, so Jeff, let's start with you.
All right.
You say the most important ingredients for comedy are tension and conflict.
Right.
Why so?
Well, that's just, that's what I love about what I do is that rather than just a monologist being on stage telling jokes and, giving opinions, Peanut and I or the other characters and I can just talk about whatever we want to talk about. And I can give one side of the issue and they can give the other side of the issue. So we can talk about a lot of things that other guys can't talk about on stage.
Yeah, whatever.
I know
We don't
Peanut
care.
sometimes seems a little confused by what you're saying, right?
Who does?
Peanut seems sometimes a little
Oh, I am never confused.
Never.
Are you kidding me? No, I'm fine. It's all good. It's all great.
I mean, so
Go ahead.
Well, the current tour, I mean, on the subject of tension and conflict, right?
Yeah.
The current tour is still not canceled.
Right.
And you say you don't care about getting canceled. Is that just because you got a big pile of money, or?
No, it is, it's a difficult time to be a comedian right now because there's so many things you can't joke about. You'll get canceled immediately for saying whatever. But I'm one of the guys trying to bring comedy back because I look back to the guys like Will Rogers, Bob Hope, Carson, Leno, and you never knew what those guys were, what their side was politically. And they would make fun of anybody and everybody, both sides, whoever was in office, and it was okay. And I think our country had a better sense of humor then. But I think what's happened is a lot of comedians have now, they pick a side, and then they start name-calling and pointing fingers and call the other side, idiots. And so what that does is you eliminate half the audience.
Right.
So I think there's an easier way, not an easier way, I think there's a better way of just making a little fun of everybody because I think I think most people in this country have a decent sense of humor.
Yeah.
And you can be made fun of a little bit, but don't point fingers and call names. And, look, when Trump was in office, I had a lot of fun with that. And now
Yep.
Biden's in office, you saw one of the clips. Walter, one of my characters, is everybody has said for years since Obama was in office that he looks like Biden. So I'm just kind of embracing that now. And on stage, the fourth wall is gone. He knows he's dressed up like Biden, but he's become Biden. But we're not being mean about it. You know what I mean? People from the left come to my show. People from the right come to my show. And everybody has an equally good time. And I'm trying to make it that again.
Yeah, and you say sometimes, listen, you have an audience of 102 people may be offended.
Right.
Do we now have to react to two people who are being offended? Because most people, you say, get the joke.
Well, look, we've all learned a lot in the last few years.
Yeah.
We really have. There's certain topics that you don't joke about, certain things that you don't say, obviously. But I think if a comedian has done his or her craft and done it a long time, you know that line. You know how far you can push things. And I think a comedian's job is to push it just a little bit further.
Yeah.
And that's what gets the big laugh.
I'm
Like I
fascinated
say,
by
if
how
you-
you work, though, Jeff, with all of his characters.
Yeah, no doubt. Jeff, I'm tired of listening to you. Peanut, so what is it like working with Jeff?
Everything is fine.
How long have we been together?
We have been together since 1986.
86, Peanut?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So, hold on a second. So, Tony was saying earlier before the segment started that you were in high school watching us.
That's depressing.
Yeah. Well, Nate as well.
Me too.
bonded on
right?
this.
I have to admit.
Yes, Jeff has screwed up a lot of kids.
No, but I like all the different characters that you work with, Peanut. The new one, Earl, it's spelled by URL.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about Earl?
Well,
He
it was,
lives
you know, when the
lives in
pandemic.
basement.
Well, when the pandemic started, I had never. I started this in the 3rd grade. My first show was a
third
book report
grade?
in the 3rd grade. Yeah.
Wow.
And I've never done anything else. This was it. So I started getting paid in the 4th grade doing Cub Scout banquets and shows at church, growing up in Dallas, and then it just kept growing. And by the time the pandemic hit, I realized that I had never gone in my entire life more than 2 weeks without doing a show.
What?
So, oh yeah, always a performance, always.
Wow.
And so even in my honeymoon, Audrey and I got married 10 years ago, I took a month off and that was it. But other than that, the pandemic hit and I'm sitting at home knowing not what to do. And so I decided to show the people how I build the dummies, how I build the characters, and I started a series of YouTube Lives and Facebook Lives building this new character who's a guy that's stuck on his smart device a little too much of the time. I always try and create characters that we can all identify with. And so when I finished him, we had a naming contest from the fans, and one guy came up with the brilliant name of Earl, but spell it URL. And
good.
he's been going over great because who doesn't know that guy? We are that guy.
Right, no doubt about it.
We are that.
I was following that story. I thought you were about to say you brought a dummy on your honeymoon.
Well, I was glad he specified
I
that
thought
it
he was
got
gonna
this-
say
I'm glad
that
you
too.
cleared that up.
Voices came with it.
Jeff Dunham, thank you so
I thought
much.
that was Nate.
Jeff Dunham, Meet the People, premieres
he's still
Friday
married.
on Comedy Central.